Going into these talks, a lot of people, including myself, right, we're sitting here going, okay, who's got more leverage? In this case, do you think it's pretty fairly evenly weighted?
Look, both sides have leverage, but they also have vulnerabilities. And I think right now, China feels pretty emboldened and empowered, and it basically has figured out that its hold on critical minerals and magnets gives it enormous negotiating leverage. And in return, apparently, it is insisting that the U.S. lift some of its export controls, which would be unprecedented in trade negotiations like this. I negotiated with China for many years. They kept asking us to relax export controls. We kept saying, no, these issues are not on the table. They're based on national security and are not something that we negotiate in a back and forth. This may be changed tomorrow.
All right, so that would be inadvisable. I hear what you're saying, Wendy. So where do these talks go from here, do you think?
So again, I think they'll find some way to reach an accommodation. It looks like the U.S. will lift some of the controls that it put in place over the past 4 weeks or so. China will resume its shipments of critical minerals. And then both sides need to get together with a 90-day clock ticking to reach some bigger deal to address concerns of each side. For the U.S., that means dealing with excess capacity, shipments from China to the United States and the rest of the world. It means dealing with transshipments by Chinese companies in third countries. And it means getting rid of a whole host of non-tariff measures that have impeded access to the Chinese market for American companies.
Wendy, some pointed out that the problem that they see with the Geneva meeting is that they left too many things open to interpretation. Do you think from this London dialogue that we'll actually get some clarity around what's going to be licensed, what's going to be allowed, and what's not?
Well, hopefully, and I hope that's why these meetings are taking such a long time, because you're absolutely right. In these kind of talks, you want clarity, because without it, it's so easy for each side to go home and to misinterpret either on purpose or inadvertently what they agreed to. And that's clearly what happened to the Geneva deal, which was very detailed on lifting tariffs. But when it came to lifting these so-called non-tariff measures, there was like one sentence in that document saying that China would lift these measures without specifying the exact critical minerals, the time frame for doing so, and other details. So again, details are extremely important, and hopefully coming out of the talks tomorrow, we will see a very detailed agreement.
Do you think Beijing is going to shift its rare earth strategy this time around? Because there have been, of course, moments where Beijing brought it up and the market really freaked out over the possibility of Beijing using rare earth as a real leverage. But it didn't really use rare earth as a meaningful lever so far. I mean, take a 2018 trade tension as an example. Do you think that could change this time around?
I think in the future, we need to get ready for that. China has, it's the dominant supplier of most critical minerals and magnets. And these are products that we need not only for commercial purposes, but also for military purposes. And we've been slow in figuring out how to reduce our reliance on China, working with other allies and partners. But this is something we need to just light a fire under ourselves after this past few weeks and really accelerate our efforts to become less dependent on China in this critical area.